Back in the day, I played PS3 all the time, and eventually I upgraded to the PS4 when that released and gave away my old PS3. And now, years later, in the modern day of the PS5 and PC era, I come across many issues in AAA gaming, from new releases prioritizing milking players for money, or no games releasing finished anymore, and in early access acting as a sort of live service. These new games are getting stale and soulless, and it made me think of all the good times gaming used to have in the previous generations, from online communities hanging out with and meeting new friends, to simply a large amount and variety of games that are all enjoyable to play. So I went and purchased a PlayStation 3 from Amazon in July of 2022, and I have been playing it ever since. It's a slim old model with 120 gigabytes of storage, and it was used. However, it came pretty much brand new and at a really good price. And since I have been enjoying my time on it so much, I thought I'd actually share with you all what owning a PS3 is like in 2023, and expand on reasons why I think it's worth it to own one in the modern day. These reasons will range from cheapness, game catalog, a surprising amount of remaining players, ease of modding and getting games for free, and the fact that there's been a sort of revival of the platform in recent years. So with that all laid out, let's just hop right into it all. Firstly, it's pretty cheap to get and play the PS3, especially in the modern day. I purchased my PS3 on Amazon for about $190, but if I go check that same exact listing today, it's already down to $150 almost a year later. I'm sure prices will vary though, depending on the type and where you're looking. Mine came with one PS3 controller, which I admit it's a little faulty, and I had to buy a new charging cable, but thankfully, I usually just play with my PS5 controller through Bluetooth, because the PS4 and 5 and even some other controllers surprisingly actually work on the PS3 as well. One reason a lot of people still play on PS3 if you actually ask them is because playing online doesn't require payment or subscription, as newer generations have done. So no PS Plus is required, just an internet connection. And let's not forget that since the system and the games are nearing 2 decades old, prices have dropped significantly. Full-price games in general are about a third of the original price. For example, I purchased Black Ops 2 for about $18 back in 2022. And that was from GameStop, which, usually they're pretty stingy on pricing. You don't really need to buy DLC for most games as well, as you may not even find a lot of players in them. These days, though, I get most of my games for absolutely free, which I will touch on more later on in the video. Secondly, the PlayStation 3 has a very wide variety of video games. You can play a lot of PS2 games on it also, whether naturally or through modding, and even defaultly, the PS3 has a huge catalog of games from 2006 to even up to the very last release that happened in 2020. Most games stopped releasing on the PS3 though, probably around 2015. These games on the PS3 range from iconic and original story games, racing games, platformers, the absolute golden era of Call of Duty and Battlefield, original first-party releases such as the Killzone franchise, Little Big Planet, and PlayStation Home, and there was also all the GTA titles, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series, and other fighting games, and even so much more. Even some PS4 games are featured on the PS3 as well. Not only is there a lot of these games, but they are all generally more enjoyable than the modern day releases. The PS3 is also the only PlayStation console so far with actual backwards compatibility with the PS2, even supporting online crossplay with the PS2 on many of those games. And with that said, the games list all alone may simply be a good enough reason of why you should own a PS3. But this now leads us to player counts. From someone who always moved on to the latest platform and never knew what the old ones were like and got rid of them, and I finally came back to the PS3 years later, even to this day, when I check out new games, I am still generally surprised how many games are still very active on the PS3. You can actually check out my PS3 playlist here on YouTube, where I've been going in and checking how specific games are doing online in the current day. A lot of them, even the ones you might not suspect, are doing decently and are very playable online. Some game servers have been shut down through the years though, such as for PlayStation Home, Killzone, SOCOM, Ratchet & Clank, Little Big Planet, and a lot more. Fortunately, there are a few communities out there that are actually reviving these games by hosting their own servers that you can simply connect to by changing your DNS in your internet connection settings. These communities usually have forums or discords where they coordinate days to revive specific games that were shut down in order to get the most players online as possible. So that's one bonus in being of these communities as well. One such community, which I find very useful, is called PS1. They are in the process of reviving PlayStation Home currently, which is pretty exciting, and they have already revived a lot of other games as well. I'll probably link their Discord or their website in the description down below for those who are interested. And another community I'm vaguely aware of is called PS Rewired, if you want to look into that one yourself. Speaking of revivals, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I keep seeing these videos recommended on YouTube of people trying to encourage others to purchase a PS3 in the current day, and reviews of if it's worth getting in the modern day. And seeing these all over the place is sort of one thing that helped push me into making this video. Perhaps out with the new and in with the old is gaining some popularity in the gaming sphere overall. With that said, one huge draw to the PS3 in 2023 is the fact that it is very, very easy to jailbreak or mod. By simply visiting a URL on your PS3 and installing software from it, you can mod your PS3 with PS3 Hen, for example. This would allow you to install packages to your PS3 that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. One such package, which I briefly kind of touched on earlier on in the video, which I absolutely love, is called PKGI. That's PKGI, and this package installs a free game store on your console, which you can see some of the footage of in the background. It simply has an absolute ton of games that you can simply press to download on for free and play them online. Alternatively, you can actually install games by downloading them from websites online on PC and installing it through file transfer or USB flash drive. I never see anyone getting banned on the PS3 in the current day for stuff like that, but to be safe, I usually install stuff and deal with modding on a second account, and I remain signed out of PSN until I boot up that game that I'm trying to play entirely, and I'm ready to actually connect and play online if it's multiplayer. A feature like this is very nice, and it's actually very easy to work with, provided with proper instructions, of course. Overall, all these reasons I've spoke of, I believe, give a great argument for why the PS3 is worth it, even in these current days. However, I should also mention an alternative to purchasing a PS3 if you have a PC, and that is RPCS3, which is a free emulator that you can install on your computer to emulate a PS3 and play PS3 games. You can't play with players playing on PS3 generally, obviously, unless they're actually connected to the same servers through changing their DNS and such. But that's only available on a very few amount of games at the current time. You can learn more about that though from the RPCS3 website or their Discord. So that emulator could very well be the future in a few years, but at least for now, having an actual PS3 is better, as you can still play with the general PS3 player population. But nonetheless guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. I feel like I laid out my position, my arguments, and overall experience pretty well. If you're convinced or considering purchasing a PS3, I will provide Amazon affiliate links in the description down below of this video. I will list PS3 console links that I recommend, controllers, and chargers, so that you can take a look at all the different options and prices for yourself. But thank you all for tuning in, and let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. Do you support my position? Do you have any concerns? Drop them in the comments down below, and I'll try to address everything I can. But until next time, peace out, guys.